Murray and Irania Macias Patterson, who adapted the book. They started from here. This is Mama Goose. It is a Latine nursery treasury, but it's just a collection of different stories and nursery rhymes and finger games and all kinds of stuff. We discovered in working with a lot of the lyrics that the Spanish that's in this book is not universal Spanish. It's not the Castilian Spanish that you would learn like in a middle school in Texas, right? So we had some of our actors adapt the language to fit what they would actually speak. So that was really interesting for us.
In the show, there's a sort of villain. His name is El Coco. We decided to change it from El Coco to El Cucuy, which most Spanish-speaking kids in the area will relate to, because Mexican parents especially, and most Latin American parents are like, si no te portas bien, te va a agarrar el cucuy, the boogeyman, because the cucuy is the boogeyman for us. And it's just like, he's gonna get you.
So the book itself is only written in Spanish and English, but when Beth and Irania decided to adapt it to a play, they were interested in exploring other language too and how they could make it as accessible as possible. And so that's when they started to add the ASL in.
Laurel and Cameron, our assistant director, was super nice to work on a little document for me together. And so basically that took the words on the script and kind of condensed it down to what I was signing. We did try to focus on doing signs that were big for the stage, that could be really seen, because there are a lot of signs for the same word. And maybe that could help them understand even if they don't speak sign language.
I did consult deaf people and deaf community to involve the deaf community that uses that language, so it's not just me as the interpreter. Different signs that may be appropriate, maybe regional signs or something like that, it's important to consult the community, yeah.
Folk dances, we tend to always go into four counts. So I use salsa, a little mambo, swing, and jazz. It was to make it a little, simple to read, because we knew that the audience was young audiences. The story is beautiful because it's talking about different cultures that are coming together. So that's something that very much that anyone can recognize in any community.
There's a deeper story to all of these cultures, and those countries and those cultures deserve a spotlight of their own, and they deserve time to truly reflect on their own without being compared to any of the others.
My directorial eye and kind of everything that I do comes from a playful place. When we were in there working on the music, working on the language, everything like that, we were all in a safe space and in a celebrative space for everything that was brought in. Everyone felt allowed to be themselves. And of course, when you reflect out on a stage, the theater for very young audience, people are gonna see it. They can just be like, I can be whatever I wanna be, I can do whatever I want. They have that freedom from the very beginning. And if you start that from the beginning, instead of starting to confine people and showing them that they don't have to stop at one place. They don't have to just know Spanish. They don't have to just know ASL. They don't have to just know English. They can know all the things to communicate with everybody. I think that's really beautiful.
Not everybody gets to see their native tongue spoken outside their home. And I think for a lot of the kids who we saw come in here who hadn't necessarily experienced that, it was a really exciting thing for them to get to connect with theater professionals who are creating this work that is specifically for them. And specifically catered to them, but also that was enjoyable for all, even if you didn't speak Spanish or even if you weren't a child.
When we started to develop this, it was with that specifically in mind. How do we create something that meets the needs of our community? Do we know who our community is, right? And if we don't, how do we start to bring people in to be a part of the conversation so that we're making something that's actually meaningful to them? Because I think that's an important thing, right? That theater should be able to reach people not just from like our beautiful stage or in a theater classroom, but that we come meet you where you are. So.